Yes, friends, we are back again with Agripoint. And one would ask, what is Agripoint? Agripoint simply is a company that has been set up to try to contribute to the solutions to the questions that are facing farmers and agribusinesses. One of the biggest, there are 5 key ones, but one of them is information, knowledge, to have some insight on what you are doing. Can you know? Because every business, you must know it. Don't guess in business. You must know your business. Know your business. That's why banks are going in to know their clients, because that's their business. What is your business? Do you know what you are doing? When you are doing agriculture, do you know agriculture? Do you know that in that 1 acre you can get 2.5 tons of maize? Do you know that one of the most lucrative grains is beans and soybean? Do you know that it is the same period of popcorn and maize? Do you know these things? Do you know that dairy can give one cow can give you 20 to 40 liters a day? What is this you don't know? What insight do you want to know? So one of the things that Agripoint is coming up to solve is information, knowledge, insights, data. What is this that you need to know? Are you government and you need data on what? On farmers? On traders? On Agri-Inputs? On what? Do you know your business? This is what Agripoint is coming out to do knowledge and insights management. Very, very important for anybody who is doing anything to impact agriculture. You need data, you need knowledge, you need information. Do you know the most recent breeds? Do you know the varieties? What is this you don't know? So Agripoint is coming out to give you knowledge, data, insight on what you don't know. Number 2, the biggest problem again is Agri-Input. Inputs in agriculture or in any business, every output you see is because of an input. If you want to have a good output, have a very good input. So what Agripoint is coming out to do is make sure you have the best and the right input in time. Are you in cassava? Where can you get the input? Are you in seeds? How do we verify that these seeds are genuine? How do we know? Can we use ICTs and we do some verification? Can you use some ICTs, some short codes, some, how can we verify? It's like that farmers don't lose in agribusiness. So what we are going to do is make sure we solve the input. Do you have inputs? Or you have a problem, you travel miles? Agripoint is going to bring you inputs nearer to you, the genuine ones. Are you in input? We want to prove, to verify whether these inputs are right for the farmers. Are they the right quantities? Are they the right varieties? Are you attaching agronomy to the input, not only selling input? This is what we are going to do. And this is going to be accompanied by a lot of trainings and capacity building, because not everybody knows. So that's one of the big things. Inputs, acaricides, all these things. Are they the best wheelbarrows? Are they the best hoes? Are they the best milking machines? Are they the best, spraying machines? Are they the best dipping machines? Everything you need to know. Are they the best grains? Yeah? Is narrow bean 2 the best? Is narrow bean whatever the best? Is Nase 14 the best cassava? Is it narrow cas 2 the best? We need to do all these things. What is the best pesticide? What is the best fungicide? All these things, the fertilizers, blended or not blended, all these things we need to know. Input. 3, we need to solve the financial problem. Access to finance. What Agripoint is doing is making sure that we lessen the distance between the customer and the financial. Do you need a loan? Or you need a social capital? Do you need a partner? Do you need equity? Do you need to be lent to? Do you need somebody to partner? Do you need a grant? All these things, but access to capital, because one of the biggest problems, challenges, is the cost of capital. People are not accessing money. The cost of capital in banks is very expensive. So who is going to help out? We need to come up and solve the financial problem. Access to capital. Farmers don't have access to money. How can we use even our rural savings to make sure that we grow our capital? Do you know this? Or you need capacity building? Agripoint is going to help out. If you need a capacity building in access to finance, or capacity building in growing your own organic capital, we are going to come up and help you to make sure that access to capital, either by a youth, either by a woman, either by a local farmer, from everywhere, either by an agribusiness or a person who wants to do export and all these things, access to capital has been a challenge. So we want to make sure that finances are flowing in agribusiness, either social capital, either loans, either equity fund, either venture capitalists. We are going to come up even with a vehicle, a crowd fund, to make sure that we collect our own monies. People who want to invest in agriculture can come up to the Agripoint crowd fund, such that we make sure that we can talk to them, know that if they are interested in investing in agribusinesses or in agriculture value chains here, then people who have those very nice lucrative business cases can come pitch, and then the investors can invest. All these things, what are we trying to do to solve the financial access question? We are going to talk to government. Government has a lot of money in the central banks. All these, you can never do this if you don't have certain things. The credit scores, we are going to work on every limitation. Collateral, how can we make sure we solve this? Because it is a big hindrance. Can we have another way of evaluating or assessing a client, not according to collateral, but maybe according to other credit score parameters? The land they own, the mobile money transactions, the trade, the business, the image in the village, the family, all these things that can be equated to some credit, to some security. Access to finance. Lastly is market. Like I talked before, access to markets. Do you need market? Don't you have market? You don't know that there is market? What I can tell you from what we know, market for everything is available. The only missing gap is information. Do you know where the market is? Do you know the quantities needed? Do you know the price offers? Do you know the frequency of supply? Do you know the terms of payment? Do you know the quality? All these things, and the points of pickup. All these things. Is it foreign? Is it here? What do you need to access that price? I can send you a market price. I can send you this, but how do you take advantage of that price? Maybe there is a broken link. So this is what Agripoint is here to solve, to make sure that we have markets. But number 5, which is an external one, is the environment. The environment. Government needs to give us, farmers and agribusiness, a favorable environment to trade. Because agriculture, like for example in Uganda, agriculture, whoever dresses up, closes the house and gets out, on the 100% people who go out to work, 80% work in agriculture or its related business. Can you imagine? 80% of whoever goes to work in Uganda goes in agriculture or related business. But what surprises us is the 80% people are only contributing 24% to the gross domestic product, the GDP of this country. That is not good. 80% contributing 24%. That is not good. What we are going to do is to change that. Because the people who are contributing, the other 76%, are the 20%. 20% of the people that go to work are the ones contributing 76% of the GDP of this country. And that is not right. We need to that's why you see that the growth totals, when they say the country is growing at 6%, people don't feel it, because whoever is contributing to those numbers is not the 80%. They are the 20%. The banks, the communication companies, people in construction and service industry, those are the people contributing 20%. But the people who are in agriculture, agribusiness, agro-industrialization, those people are just contributing 24% or less. And no wonder we get only 3 or less % of the budget, because we contribute less. I wish we were contributing a lot. So will be the allocation of funding. So we are going to talk to government. We have started already to make sure that at local government, what is the allocation to agriculture-related activity in the districts, in the local governments, but also at central government. This is what we are doing as Agripoint. So we are not only doing internal things in agriculture and agribusiness, but also speaking to an external factor, which is government. Number last is climate change and weather patterns. These are also affecting, but it's an external thing. So we are not leaving it. We are going into agroforestry. We are going into different things that make sure we mitigate the effects of climate change on our business. We want private sector, particularly small and medium entrepreneurs, to make sure they get involved in mitigation and adaptation to all these things. So we are going to speak adaptation. We are going to speak mitigation. How do we create that strong muscle to adapt to the changes in climate change? How do we make sure that we build the capacity of our people, farmers, and whoever is involved in agriculture and its business to mitigate the effect? If the effect was supposed to be 100%, how do we mitigate it to 20% or less? How do we do these things? Do we even know? How do we make sure that we leave the forests the way they are? But where shall we get energy? So Agripoint is not going to just talk about agriculture, but also some of the external things, external factors that are affecting our business. This is something that we are going into. So you will see us in renewable energies, in sustainable agriculture practices. We are going to go into agroforestry, making sure we revamp all school farms. We are going to go into all universities, make sure that we have what we call the Agripoint or the agribusiness or agri-skills breakfasts. Every semester we must have all these things. We are going to nursery schools. We want to have agriculture from nursery. We want to start things like the green homework. You cannot give a green holiday package. Why? Let's stop giving people papers for holiday package. Give them trees. Give them a plant to take care of them all through the holiday. You know, we are going to start all these things. These initiatives, that's why we are called Agripoint Initiatives Limited. Why? Because we have waited for a long time and we cannot wait any longer. This is Agripoint, and these are the solutions and initiatives that we have come up with. And all these things, we are going also to solve them using ICTs, sustainable linkages, different approaches. But so long as we stay on the gap, we are going to advocate, we are going to link, we are going to talk, we are going to intervene, we are going to indulge, we are going to make sure that people in agriculture and agribusiness benefit from their business. But not only that, also governments appreciate the contribution of agriculture and agribusiness to the growth of the economies. And that is Agripoint.